Welcome to the Burrow.
A podcast where we discuss our favourite books and have a bit of a laugh. Hi, I'm Chloe.
And I'm Megan. Uh, and I use any pronouns, and I'm from Canada.
I use she, her pronouns, and I'm from the UK. So, how are we doing today? It's been kind of a while since we recorded a book episode.
It's been quite a while. It's been quite a while since we recorded an episode in general, because we've been so busy.
Yeah.
Time.
We are busy peoples.
Well, I've been working on a play currently, so most of my time I've been at the university. And then other things, constantly just working on plays and musicals and plays and everything.
Yeah, I'm commuting from where I am at uni to home in London, back and forth, because I'm doing this short play that's going to be performed in London.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I need to keep going back and forth.
That's a lot of money, isn't it?
Not really, if you book it in advance. And I've been booking coaches, which is only 10 quid, 15 quid.
Okay, that's not bad.
Compared to trains. But I'm after the next time I come back here, when I go back, I might have to start booking trains because I have uni stuff that I need to be there for. And the coaches here, they're only here. You can either get one at 8 o'clock in the morning or 12 o'clock, and I have uni at 2, so I need to go to my classes and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll have to take some trains, but it will be fine.
Fine.
Yeah, that's been very interesting. Speaking of, I really need to try and finish writing it, so I will send you stuff later.
Oh, please do.
I will. But yeah, so that's been very exciting. A little bit stressful, but exciting. Yeah.
I've been busy. I could have been doing a light walking call yesterday. Actually, I could have done it Friday as well, but Friday would have been pushing it because I would have missed my class, which is fine. My professor would have understood.
Yeah.
But I had to miss my class and then right after that go to my other job.
Yeah.
And then I could have done it yesterday, but then I thought we were gonna be recording, and then Julia was coming over, so I'm like,
Yeah. Very true.
And then the play's happening next week, and the play, yeah.
Ooh, very exciting.
Which I am ushering for, and then I'm also doing a strike, which is taking down the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's cool.
Anyway, yeah, that's us recently.
Yeah.
Theater.
Yeah, just theatre. Yeah, of course, as always. Do we have any arguments we want to discuss?
I forgot we argue.
It hasn't happened in a while.
No.
I know.
Do you have any arguments?
No, I don't have anything. The way progressively as we get on, we're just I don't know what else I can attack you for.
We were arguing over my about lights a while back with me, you, and your friend Lauren.
That doesn't count as a discourse, but
no.
Sure.
I know we were arguing over that, but that's not really Canadian and UK discourse.
Really, really randomly, I want to ask something because I can see them in front of me. I have cream eggs.
Is cream this eggs. A thing? We have those, yeah.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you didn't. But yeah, I love cream eggs. Whenever it's Easter, I'm like, it's time for cream eggs. And I have one left, so I'll have one later. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
That's weird how Easter's kind of coming up.
I mean, yeah, all the shops are stocked with obviously Valentine's stuff, but also
Valentine's is
next stuff.
Next week, it's 2 days.
Oh shit! Yeah. Yeah. I have exciting news. You know about it already. I have such a cool day on Valentine's Day. And you're actually not ready to hear it.
Are you going on a date?
Yeah. Are you ready? A 4.5-hour coach. That's the ultimate. I already told you that.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's the ultimate Valentine's Day date, do you not think? Sitting on a coach for 4.5 hours.
You know, honestly, you can read,
I'm bringing a book. I'm bringing a book with me. It's a really chunky book. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called The Goldfinch. It's a film.
Oh, I've heard of it, yes. That
Yeah,
sounds
and
familiar.
I've wanted to get it for ages, and I found it in Waterstones, and I bought it like a couple weeks ago, and it's really chunky, so I'm gonna bring it with me and read it on the coach.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my plans for Valentine's.
I have plans.
You do?
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
do.
I feel so single. I don't like it. But
I
it's
mean, you
fine.
have been going on those dating apps.
Okay, but the thing is, I haven't been doing that seriously
I
because
know.
I I know some people meet people on dating apps, but I think it's a load of BS. I don't know. I just think, yeah, I don't know. Oh my God, did I tell you? This
What?
is not dating app related. On Twitter, this random person messaged me
Mm-hmm.
and wait, let me pull up the exact message. It's so funny. Um, they messaged me and they said, "I'll pay you to cry over a book." And then I know it's shady. Like
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't gonna like say yes, but I just replied with like those eye emojis. And then they were like, "Yes, I'm serious, $100." And then I went on their Twitter and like all of their tweets and replies are like, "Oh, I want to see people cry. I want to see you cry." And I'm like,
Okay.
I it's that's very weird. Anyway, that's the amount of action I'm getting in my life.
Wow, that's not
I know.
really
It's great. It's fine. One day.
one day. Or not, you know.
Speaking of, this is
Mhm.
a very fitting occasion for us to do Loveless.
It is. We didn't mention
Uh,
what we're doing, even though it's the title of the episode, but we're doing Loveless.
oh, yes,
Yeah,
yeah, finally. We talk
yeah.
about it a lot in different episodes, don't we? Yeah. Oh, wait, let me get mine. Beautiful. I love it.
Yay.
It's great.
Such a good yeah, I love it. It's such a good book. Now I need to read it more on the bus. I have taken up your idea of reading on the bus,
Mm.
but I'm reading it's not there. I'm reading this currently.
Oh, you've started it.
I have. I haven't gone very far because I had to start reading this.
Oh my God. Sorry. When you finish it or when you reach emotional points, message me. It's been a while since I've read it.
Okay.
For people who can't see right now, she's reading The Song of Achilles,
Yeah.
which is a very good book, by the way. I recommend it. It's very good. It made me cry a lot. But because you're you, I don't think you will cry.
I may. You don't know.
The delay in that response was very funny. Oh, so oh my God, I forgot, yeah. Before we even talk about Loveless,
Hmm?
do you have a book quote for the week?
You can go first. Think I
Okay,
got one. I did get one, but just
okay, cool. So my one is from a book that I recently read.
okay.
Very highly anticipated, as you know. It's from this like big series called the Shadowhunter Chronicles,
Yeah,
and I've
we were
been
talking
waiting.
about that.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this book for ages. It was supposed to come out November, and then because of COVID, it didn't come out till end of January.
Okay.
And yeah, very. Okay, a lot of feelings.
Hmm.
I needed my gay couple to get together, and they did by the end of the book. So I'm all good. I'm happy. Although someone died who I didn't expect, and that was very sad. But it's okay. Anyway,
Okay.
the quote is it's from my gay couple because they are the best. And the quote is, "I suppose I wish Alistair would treat himself as he deserves to be treated."
Mm,
It
okay.
was just like a thing of me reading this book, and I had so many like verbal reactions.
Mm,
And this guy Alistair, he like thinks so kind of like lowly of himself, and he's so kind of insecure and feels like he doesn't deserve love, that he's pushing away this person who loves him so much.
okay.
And I just kept it was just so annoying because it's like they both clearly love each other, and one of them is pushing the other one away. Kind of similar to a dynamic in this book between a couple,
Hmm.
actually. Yeah. Do you have a quote?
I do. From the book we were just talking about, not yours, the Song of Achilles.
Oh, yeah.
The quote is, I haven't finished the book, but I was like, why don't I do this one? Because I'm reading it. Which one do I choose? Oh, in the darkness, two shadows. In the darkness, two shadows reaching through the hopeless, heavy dusk. Their hands meet, and light spills in a flood, like 100 golden urns pouring out of the sun. I just thought it was really pretty.
Oh, I love that.
It's
That's very
written
cute.
so pretty and so nice.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
I'm so
yay.
excited to get into it.
It's really good. Do you know the actual myth of Achilles? Is it Achilles? Achilles and Patroclus.
I no, I don't think so. No.
Okay. Don't don't Google it. Because that's how the
Okay.
book basically ends, is how the myth ends. Like it's a myth, like it's a historical fiction book.
Okay. I think I might know. Was
So
there a
if
hint?
you
Was there a hint to it in red, white, and royal blue?
no,
Because Henry referred to two Greek figures, I believe, that were in love and then died.
I don't want to spoil it for you, but anyway, there is some death at the end of the book. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, moving
Anyway,
on.
moving on.
We're talking about Loveless today.
We are. Oh my god. Also, for everyone watching, if you're not
Dogs.
focusing. Easy. My dog is on the bed there. You can't really see her because the light's like hovering.
Oh,
I'm gonna take a picture actually. There, if you can't really see,
oh my god. Is she sleeping?
she's dozing. Her eyes,
Oh,
her eyes are open.
that's so cute.
Are we ready to start?
It's all you. It's all
All me.
you.
Okay.
It's all you.
Well, I'll start off with basically what happens in the beginning. Should I introduce the character? Main character. Her name
Yeah,
is main character. We can introduce the other ones as we go. Main character. Her name
yeah.
is Georgia War.
What you just said, her
I don't
name
know
is,
how do you say the last name? War.
how's it spelled?
Well, it's two R's. That's the thing.
No, yeah, how is it spelled? What's her last name?
War.
How is it spelled?
Oh, Warr.
War, yeah.
War. Okay.
War. Because I don't actually know the last name, so I was
Okay.
like
I thought you were just
confused, like, what
like
is it?
joking around. Like you know how to spell her name?
No, I didn't know what it was. Oh my god. Anyway,
Okay.
carry on.
Georgia War. That's the main character. She told me kind of like figuring out her sexuality through the book. That's like the whole like theme.
And her aromanticism too.
Yes. That's the whole thing. It's great. We don't have enough like asexual and aromanticism in books either.
I'd say I can't speak. I would say aromanticism even less than asexual.
Yeah,
I
you like
think,
never hear about it.
yeah, which I have a lot of. Obviously, at the moment, I don't align with being aro, so like I don't have that same experience,
Hmm.
but I have a lot of opinions on some of the stuff that is
Yeah.
said, like against it and for it, because there's a lot of like conflicting opinions
Hmm.
and stuff about it throughout the book. But I think it's really interesting to kind of see her journey from like when she first starts uni and she discovers like these people who kind of help her out, and
Yeah.
obviously like everyone, she makes mistakes and she makes
Mhm.
choices that aren't like the best and
Mhm.
that hurt people, but yeah.
Yeah. Um, we'll get to that part later.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, she's at a little like I called it a house party, but it's like a prom after party
Oh,
for like the
yeah.
end of the year with her two friends, Pip and Jason. They're like a little like trio. And I it starts off she's at like a little campfire
Mm.
and she walks past three couples making out and she calls it like some kind of kissing orgy and I'm like, wow, okay. I don't know how I would feel about walking into that. I was gonna be like, I wouldn't be like phased, I guess.
I hate witnessing PDA.
Mm.
It's like, there was this, I can't remember if I've told you this. There was this, it was the first time I went to see a theatre show by myself.
Mhm.
And I was sat, and next to me, this was like before the show started. Next to me, there was a couple who was just like making out, and I was
Like
just sitting
horrible
next to
theater
them,
etiquette.
and I was just like, I was just looking at my phone, just avoiding eye contact. I was like, this is really weird.
I'm sorry, but that's
I mean,
horrible theater etiquette.
the
If you're
show
at like a
hadn't
concert,
started,
it's different.
but the show hadn't started.
Yeah, but still.
You can kiss when you're at the theatre.
Make out though.
Okay, yeah.
It's a bit weird.
I mean, some people do weird stuff.
True.
I've seen some weird things in my time. But
You sound
anyway,
really old. You're like,
no.
I was gonna say like you're almost 20, but you are, that's still old.
Thanks.
We're almost 20. Which means they're closer to us meeting one day.
Yeah. But like also I look like a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old.
I
Look at me.
don't worry, I get told I'm 12 all the time, and I'm like, bestie, I'm almost 20, please.
Not 12.
Yeah, okay. Within like 1 week, a customer came into my till. He's like only like his like 70s or something, and he was like, "Oh, they let 12-year-olds work here now," and I'm like,
Oh my
"I'm not
God.
12. I'm like turning 20 this year."
He said she was 12. Sorry.
Mm. And then another person was like a random guy on the bus. I was waiting at my bus stop, and then this guy came up. I kind of like waved like a good morning sort of thing. I feel like I shouldn't have done that. And then he started asking, he's like, "Oh, where are you off to?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to university at UW." He's like, I thought you were like 12. You look like really young." And I'm like,
To be fair, it is a compliment. Like if you have a
"Yeah."
baby face, like it's good. In terms of me with acting, I'm
Oh,
sold. I'll be 40 and I'll still be a 15-year-old. No, I'm kidding. But there's loads of like 30-year-olds who play like
mhm.
16-year-olds still. And
But like,
they don't even look 16, they look 30.
well, if you think about like a lot of the Disney shows, a lot of people that are playing the characters aren't actually like that age. They're like,
Yeah.
I don't know how old they were. Anyway, I should continue.
Carry on.
Carry
Yes.
on.
Carry on.
Um,
Making out orgy.
Making her orgy.
Yeah.
She quickly kind of shuffles away. I think she was trying to get like a bag of marshmallows for Pip, Jason, and her. But then the kissing orgy, so she's like, ew, gross, no. I also found it funny how she said, "Wow, I sure do wish that was me." But that's not like the whole reason, because she wants to be normal and do
Yeah.
normal like teenage things. Mm,
Yes.
yeah, it was sad how
Yes.
she had to betray Pip like that though, and not get the marshmallows.
Oh my God.
Yeah, um, that was a whole thing. So they go and meet up. Well, not they. Georgia goes up and meets with Pip, and then I think Jason was there as well.
Mhm.
And I want to mention um Pip's outfit. I love Pip's outfit so much.
What is it?
It was a burgundy velvet blazer, which I don't know. It feels like it would look really nice.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't like people velvet though. Velvet kind of makes me feel weird. I
That's
have
true,
opinions on
actually.
it.
Velvet is a weird kind of texture.
And then she also has like tortoiseshell glasses, and I'm like, wow, okay,
God.
wow, I love people who can't see.
Yeah. Oh my god.
They start talking about like the couples they're kissing, and this makes me really sad how Georgia was just like, I just want to kiss someone. I was like, wow, ouch, okay.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
feel that. I feel that. I feel that.
I feel that.
Shut up. What do you mean you feel that?
What do you mean? I'm allowed to feel that.
You've kissed people before.
Yeah, I know.
The reason I feel that is because I haven't.
hmm
So how do you feel that?
I can. I can want to kiss someone.
Yeah, but not on the same
Not on the same
level
level, but
what
like,
Georgia is
I
experiencing.
know.
Wow.
Wow.
You have so much experience.
Truly, I do.
I'm making you sound like a bad person. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Um, and in response to that, Pip says, "We can make out if you want." It's like, wow, okay. And then not offers, but suggests that she makes that with Tommy instead. Which I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about Pip kind of pressuring Georgia into kissing Tommy. Like I know Georgia wants to kiss someone, but at the same time, like those two have never interacted before.
Have they not?
No.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know, I feel like you shouldn't really be pressuring your friend to kiss someone. Maybe that's just my point of view.
Yeah.
But like if you knew the person well, I would be like a bit different. If like
Yeah.
you knew the other person liked you the same way, then it's like, yeah, go for it. If it's just kind of like kiss them for like a fling sort of thing, or like a just to do it, I'm like, I don't know, I just don't like it. I don't like the idea.
Yeah.
Also, Georgia doesn't really actually want to do it.
Yeah, but then Pip doesn't know that. So
Yeah,
it's not cute.
I was like, I'm not like mad at Pip, but also like same time, like maybe don't pressure. And she was talking about why she likes Tommy. I'm going on a lot about this chapter. I apologize, but she like technically she has a crush on Tommy, which you realize wasn't really a crush.
Oh,
Yeah, it
yeah.
just she picked someone that was like the most like conventionally attractive of the group of like year seven boys.
I am feeling flashbacks to sixth form right now, is all I can tell you.
Wow,
You know what I mean.
I know what you
No,
mean.
because honestly, swear to God, the first time I read this book,
Mhm.
I read like a bit of it and I had to put it down and I was like, Alice, you're like inside my head and I don't like it. It felt so weird. It was like me, but like it wasn't me. It
Yeah,
was very weird. But yeah, I'm getting flashbacks when you just said that.
I mean it's a pretty, I'd say, common experience amongst the asexual community and aromantic community.
Yes.
Um, I feel like like I feel like I'm not like too far on the asexual spectrum, but I feel like I have done this before
Mm,
in picking someone random. Be like, I like you.
I like you.
I like you.
I like you. No, I'm just kidding.
But maybe that's just a thing. Um, and then she goes on about like how she like loves like the idea of like romance and like just like the idea of it, which is
Mm,
great. The idea, I love it. I love the idea.
I don't know
And
if I do.
you don't like the idea of romance?
No,
Wow.
No, listen, like I do, but like it's a bit cringe, isn't it? I
It is a
don't know.
bit cringe.
This is the reason why romantic comedies aren't my favorite thing, because it's all happy and I'm like, that's gross. Not everything's happy.
Wow.
No, I
Are
don't
you
know.
actually aro?
No, I'm not. Who knows? But no, I like the idea of it, but like I don't like reading. I can't explain it. It's just I find it a bit cringe sometimes. Like
Okay.
when it happens to me, it won't be cringe, but like, do you know what I mean? Like romantic
Yeah.
comedy, just like I will like some. I do enjoy some of them. But some of them I'm just like, this is way too happy. Life is not this happy.
Wow. Okay.
Um, it's true though. It's true.
It is.
Anyway, moving on.
I'm
Carry on.
carrying on. Um, and then she goes on about, I don't even know if she goes on about it, but like we did go on about this in our asexuality video
Mm,
on how like romance isn't like the only type of like love and like sex isn't the only type of love. I don't remember if she went through this, but like I know I went through it in my notes saying it. Like there's like different kinds of love. There's like friendship, love for family members, like love for your animals, and like platonic. But I think platonic kind of goes like all of those, but you know,
yeah. Yeah, I think so.
we love platonic. Oh, okay, yeah. They have a truth or they're still the party. They have a truth or dare game.
Oh God.
Yeah, which gets kind of awkward. Um, it's like I think I'm not sure how many people are there, but it's a big group of them. They truth or dare, and I think the bottle gets pushed onto Georgia, and one of the popular girls asks her like, "Oh, what was your worst like experience with a guy or something like that, or worst like sexual experience?" And then like Jason gets defensive and backs her up, and it's really awkward. And people like she says like she's never had anything, and then people start laughing at her,
Yeah.
and I kind of forget people do like that. People do that kind of stuff. Like, why would you laugh?
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems stupid to laugh at that sort of thing.
That's people for you though. No,
Hmm.
no, wait. That's asexual people for no, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Mhm.
But yeah, no. I think it's just like the culture that we live in still.
Yeah, I think it's getting a bit better though.
I don't know.
You know?
In schools, I wouldn't say so. Like kids are still this have that same
Yeah, I
like
guess so.
attitude. So in that sense, I don't think so. But in terms of more people understanding,
Mhm.
um, about like asexual, like oh my god, asexuality, um, I think yeah. But in schools, all kids are the same when it comes to stuff like sex and
Mhm.
relationships, I think.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, so that happens, and then they go off on their own. But remember what? Yeah, the whole Tommy thing comes back up, and then
Mm.
I think I'm not sure who it is. I feel like Pip or someone says something to Tommy about how Georgia liked him, because like why else would he go up to her?
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, because he goes up to her and like starts chatting with her, and like why else would you go up to her unless someone told you?
Yeah. I think someone did tell him.
Yeah. Anyway, um, brain no good. Yeah. He comes up and starts, I guess, kind of like flirting with her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
start flirting with her, and then they move towards like the fire and are about to like kiss and make out, but the asexual instincts kick in. That's what I would call them,
But yeah.
asexual instincts. And then she I think she pushes him. I know she like pushes him away.
Not into the fire though,
No,
right?
her
Okay.
jacket falls into the fire, I think,
Oh my god.
because she gave him his jacket.
Can you imagine if she just pushed him in the fire?
Oh, it's so funny.
Sorry, that would be funny. Oh my god.
I mean, it would be mean, but it would be funny.
Yeah.
And then there's like a whole like, she has like kind of like a breakdown, I guess. Yeah, which we're gonna move on though.
Sometimes.
Yeah, because like no one really understands her, or she doesn't think they would understand her little situation
Yeah.
of asexuality, because even she doesn't understand.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
doesn't even know what it is. She just knows that it's like feels a bit weird
Mm.
and a bit off.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't really know what asexuality was until I think like not too long ago, actually, like within the past couple of years.
I knew about it quite a while ago. Like lockdown.
Yeah, I think lockdown. I heard about it.
Yeah.
But like I feel like it wasn't talked about as much beforehand.
No.
I feel like I
It's
probably
like,
went over it in my GSA though when in high school.
oh, okay.
I might have, but I don't remember. um, I'm gonna move on to they're going to university because that's like the next like big milestone, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, they're going to university. All three of them, all Pip, Jason, and Georgia gone to Durham University,
You said
which
it
is like
wrong.
Durham.
Sorry.
How do you say it?
Durham.
Durham,
Durham.
Durham,
Duh.
duh,
Rum.
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 Anyway,
Like your bedroom. Durham.
I don't say it like that though.
Oh, okay.
We say it like
Okay.
room.
Room.
Yeah,
Yeah, Durham.
you add like a U to it.
Durham.
You add like a U to room.
No? Durham.
Room.
I don't know. Anyway.
Anyway, they all got into the same university, but I believe yeah, two of them got into Castle. I think that's what they called it.
Yeah, they have like different colleges attached to
Yeah,
the actual university. So it's like they all got into the same place, but like in different like branches,
yeah.
sort of.
I don't remember what part Georgia got into, though. But she was like in the English department, so she was there, and they were all the way in the Castle part.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go to university, and um, we meet um Georgia's roommate in her dorms.
Oh no.
Yeah,
But yeah, we meet her roommate, yes.
roommate whose name is Rooney.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rooney. Oh, Rooney's amazing, and Rooney is we figure out throughout the book is Rooney is cool,
Yes,
and
she
Rooney
is.
has a house plant, which we love.
Yes. Oh my god.
The house
Yes.
plant's named Roderick, I believe.
Yes. Roger.
Yeah, Roderick the plant, which is a weird name for a plant. To be fair,
Yeah.
I have a plant right here named Eepy.
EP.
Yeah, it's like Sleepy, but without the S and L.
Why?
It's a joke between me and my friends.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sorry, I don't
Are you,
water it.
are you watering it right now?
Yeah, I don't water it like enough, I feel like. There you go. It's fine.
That's so funny. Oh my god.
Yeah, they go to university. They meet Rooney, who is like Rooney, I would say is very like upbeat, very like
Mm.
hyper social butterfly sort of person.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
100%.
Which I don't know, I think was a good person to put Georgia with.
Yeah.
Because Georgia's rather like more shy, more kept to herself, which is fine.
Yeah,
But
extroverts always bring out the best in introverts.
exactly.
It's a nice little pairing, I think.
Mm. And I feel like Georgia wouldn't really talk to a lot of people
Yeah.
or get to know a lot of people if she didn't have like Rooney there the whole time. Oh, I forgot to mention about Pip and Jason. Pip is a like flaming lesbian.
Sorry, that caught me off guard.
I mean, she is.
She is. No, you're 100% right.
Yeah. And then Jason, I think Jason's like the straight best friend. But like in a good way. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, he's like the straight best friend.
I'm used to hearing gay best friends, so hearing straight best friend was really
Straight best
funny.
friend. Hello. I keep doing that too much. Whenever I find a character, like a person who I'm like, that person's an ally, I'm like, hello, talk Valentina. They're a
Oh
talk
my god.
Valentina ally.
Hello.
Hello.
That's really funny. Oh my god. Moving on.
Moving on. When they like had their room like separated into different parts, it kind of reminded me of like um Wednesday and Enid from the Wednesday show.
I still haven't watched it.
I know. Anyway, how it's set up in like because they have a shared room. One side
Oh.
is like bright, like how I'm just talking about how the Wednesday room is.
Mm.
One side is bright and sunny and joyful, and one side's like dark.
Yeah.
And in Rooney and George's room, it's like bright and colorful, and then like a jail cell. That's what they refer to it as. They're like it's like a prison cell.
Whose one is a prison cell?
George's, Georgia, because
Really?
she didn't bring any like posters or anything.
Oh. I don't have any posters with me, but I have some nice stuff.
You should get posters in your room. Oh, that's what it's called. She goes to St. John's College.
Mm.
Also, didn't Alice go to this university?
Yeah, she went to Durham University.
Yeah, okay. That's why a lot of her books are kind of have mentions of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's not really important. They go to the little mingling thing.
Cute, yeah.
Yeah, like a little. It's called a freshers barbecue. Did you have a freshers barbecue, or is that just a thing?
Yes, we did.
You did. Ooh.
We had a whole freshers week. I don't know if you
Okay.
do that. Do you?
Well, it's not called freshers week, but
It's like a similar thing.
it's a thing. We called it roll call, and then we also had something in winter term.
Okay.
It's just kind of has all the student associations, and you can go like check it out.
Okay.
They have free
Yeah.
food. Little college families, and they meet their. Oh my god, this tilted down.
I just realized that. I was like, ooh.
Their college parent, one of them, whose name is Sunil. Sunil. How do you know how to say it? Yeah,
I love Sunil. I love
Sunil,
him.
who
Yeah.
is non-binary, uses he/they pronouns, who is also asexual.
Yes.
I believe pansexual as well.
Pan-romantic.
Panoramandric, yes. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And they also are the president or co-president of
The
I don't know you guys
LGBT
yeah,
Society.
the Pride Sock, I believe it's called.
Pride Society, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is we love it.
Are you
We love it.
okay?
Yeah, I am. And continuing on, Georgia actually ends up going to her first club, baby's first club. I think Rooney kind of like not pushed her into going, but kind of like you should go.
Yeah.
I love how after like the little clubbing night they went to, Rooney just says that Georgia has high standards.
Yeah.
Which I mean, yeah, high standards as
Yeah.
in just doesn't like anyone. But I wouldn't count that
Sure.
as
Yeah.
standards really. um,
I mean, to be fair, because Georgia at this clubbing thing, Georgia is being picky, so I guess you do classify that as having high
yeah.
standards.
Well, like neither of you know that Georgia is asexual. Well, I kind of skipped ahead to the pride thing, but yeah. After that, we meet Sunil at the Pride Society, and I think she actually joins the Pride Society.
Does she?
Yeah, I think out of like she felt kind of pressured.
Oh, that's funny.
Because Sunil was there, and then like we're like, you should really join because your college president parent is here.
Yeah, cute.
Hmm. I mean, I'd say always to join like some kind of society in university,
Yeah,
kind of association, because it kind of just gets you like involved and to know people
yeah, no,
like
exactly.
you.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Even if it's not like something that's just like with your degree.
Yeah.
I know there are just like, for example, like English societies or science. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of society. Like, you can literally make any kind of society.
Mhm. Oh, there does end up having starting a little. I forgot to mention this. Pip kind of has like a crush on Rooney, and this becomes like a bigger part later on.
Yeah,
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 but in my part, it's kind of like a little sassy back and forth sort of thing.
yeah. A little bit of banter.
Yeah, because Pip liked Rooney, and then Pip saw Rooney making out with a guy.
Yeah, Rooney like goes out a lot and like gets with a lot of different people,
Yeah,
which is just a thing that she does, and you learn later on in the book why she does that.
yeah. Mm. But yeah, that's a good thing to keep in mind for this book. 'Cause that's another like big part I would say. It's like a minor part, but it's like it
It's
does.
important.
Yeah, and so like there's kind of like a lot of angst between the two.
There's a lot of like what's it called, like tension
Mhm.
between them. Yeah.
Because Pip's angry about like the making out thing and like leading her on.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want me to skip forward to like the Jason part?
Yeah. If there's nothing else important.
Not that I can think of. So gonna skip forward to the Jason part 'cause that's closer to your part.
I'm pretty sure Rooney kind of encourages her to go out with Jason.
Yeah. Okay.
Jason,
I'll just go from that
Jason's
point.
kind of always liked her.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. At some point, Rooney kind of pushes um Georgia to go out with Jason because it's kind of clear from the beginning that Jason likes Georgia and always
Yeah.
has. But this is kind of where it kind of just I don't know, it's not a good idea. I don't know why. Like
Yeah.
she's just like leading him on and using him to figure out her own sexuality. Which that's not really an excuse or anything.
I know. Which it's like it's kind of hard because if she hadn't have tried to, I mean, she could have tried to date someone else who wasn't Jason, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Hmm.
Um, but if she hadn't, she wouldn't have realized stuff about herself.
Yeah.
But the way she went about it wasn't the
She could
best.
have used a different way, but also like it's university. People do a
Yeah,
lot of things they probably regret.
yeah, to be honest.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, they go on a date. They go for a movie and then they go get food. I don't know where they get food, but they go on a movie, go get food, and then they go to um Jason's room, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah, they go to Jason's room. And it would be like a perfect like little date, I would say, if you both liked each other the same way.
yeah,
But in this situation it's not.
yeah, no.
I think Georgia kind of sees it more like a friends sort of thing. Like she wants to use a date, but
Yeah,
can't. After the movie and everything, they end up going to. I said they're gonna go to Jason's place.
yeah.
I think he does try to kiss her.
No,
Yeah, or they try to do something.
no, they don't.
Okay, no, yeah, not in this point. They didn't kiss. In this point,
I think so.
they just agreed to take things slow, which is it's a good. It's I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
What do you mean? Like generally in a
To
relationship?
take things slow is a good idea, but in this case, it's like Georgia knows she doesn't like him that way.
I don't think she does. I think I feel like she low-key has kind of convinced herself that she could like him. So
Yeah,
I feel like she's kind of kidding herself into thinking she does.
yeah.
She doesn't realize properly until like things get a little physical between them, the
Mhm.
two of them, I think. From my perspective, that's the way I see it. That I think
Well,
I
I think she's like confusing her feelings for like friendship
yeah,
or like romantic feelings.
yeah. Which totally understandable as well because she's never experienced romantic
Yeah.
like action. Um, so she doesn't really know the difference.
Mhm. But she figures it out.
Eventually.
Eventually. She talks it out with Rooney and they kind of, I don't know. There's not really like the chapter is called Spark. And there's not really like a spark between the two in that sort of way. Like she doesn't feel like the butterfly sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think she mistakes like butterflies for like her feeling like she wants to throw up.
Yeah.
Because she's like, makes me feel really weird.
Yeah, because to be fair, anxiety
Hmm.
is is the same feeling when you get butterflies, but it's two like completely different kind of reactions.
Hmm.
One is like not repulse, that's a really strong word, but one reaction is like you don't like it, and then like having butterflies is when like it's like nervous, but it's like excited kind of
Yeah.
nervous energy. So they're two very different things.
Yeah.
They do feel the same.
But they're
Um,
different.
but yeah, no,
Yeah.
they're very different.
Yeah. Um, where's the next point in Jason? Okay, continuing on the Jason thing. They meet up again. Yeah, this is the part I was gonna talk about. They go for movies again, and then they um go back to college. They go for tea, and then they go back to his place. Oh, the movie like didn't work out. The movie they were going to go to didn't work out, so then they had to go to Jason's place to watch a movie. After I think. Sorry, I just figured out what's happening. Um, they're in their little kind of date-ish at Jason's house. I think she's figuring out she's getting closer and closer to figuring out that she's asexual because she really wanted to go home. And Jason's nice, so he'd let her like go home. And now she's realized she's gonna like hurt him because like her actions and what she's doing, which is like really really sad.
Yeah.
Mm. And I don't know. I don't know how to explain, but it's just I kind of get it. I
Mm,
don't know. I kind of get it, but also kind of like because she wants to shout Jason, but also it's like she doesn't want to hurt him, but at the same time, like keep pushing it forward is gonna hurt him more.
yeah.
It's kind of like a yeah. And then I think the longer that she pushes it forward, it hurts him more, which you'll go into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
There should be a little bit where she's speaking to Sunil about sex
She is.
before
Yeah,
before it's my part.
yeah.
So if you just talk about that and then I can take up that.
Can you find where that part is? Oh, I found it. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's like right before. I see. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. The two of them just kind of talk about what he explains what asexuality is to Georgia, because I don't think, yeah, she didn't really know what it was, and
Mm.
aromanticism,
Yeah.
and it kind of, I think, yeah, she was in denial during this little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would gaslight, would the word gaslight be the right term?
For
She
what?
kind of made herself think that she wanted sex.
I don't know.
I think so. No, but she did kind of make her think that she wanted to have it, and she wanted to kiss someone.
Yeah.
And she was talking about that, so she's like, I'm not asexual, I'm not aromantic." So she's like in denial about all of it.
Yeah. I
But she
mean,
did.
technically she does want to kiss someone. It's just when she does kiss someone, she realizes then
Mm-hmm.
that it's not what she wants.
Yeah. I'm gonna end it there, cause
All right,
yeah,
cool.
we need to continue going. We might not be able to finish today, actually.
Yeah, I will speed through it
See through it.
because I need some food and I still have shit to do. So after she has that conversation with Sunil, she thinks a lot about kind of like where she stands and her opinions on sex, and she's just like really confused and overwhelmed by what they talked about. And she's kind of like talking to herself, and she's like, she knows that the concept of virginity is like misogynistic in nature and that you shouldn't care about it, but she still feels like she's missing out. Like there's like this kind of everyone else has done it and she hasn't, and she feels like she's missing out on that experience.
Mm-hmm.
um so yeah, she thinks about what Sunil said and how he himself, his own like asexual experience is that he feels kind of indifferent about it. He doesn't really have a like opinion on it really. um and so from that conversation she decides to talk to Rooney, and she's like, when is it the right time? Like, how do you actually know when's the right time to kiss someone? And she just kind of unloads all her confusion on Rooney. And then Georgia kind of admits to her, she's like, I'm not even sure if I'm even attracted to men, like I don't even know. And
Mm-hmm.
she's just like really confused. So then Rooney kind of decides, she's like, all right, we're gonna figure out the stuff with Jason and if you are actually attracted to men or not. So she kind of just asks her like a series of kind of uncomfortable questions.
Mm-hmm.
So she starts off, she's like, do you wank? And that's just so straightforward of her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Georgia gets a bit uncomfortable and she's like, yeah, I do. And then Rooney asks, who do you think of when you wank? And then George's answer is she doesn't actually want to like tell Rooney this, but she says that she normally reads like super like smutty fanfic and that's how she wanks. So like she's not thinking of a specific person, she's like thinking of those fictional characters. So she tells her not really anyone in particular, like not a gender she's
Mm-hmm.
really like thinking of. And then Rooney asks her, who is the last celebrity that you last got off to? And then George's response is just like, it's kind of like staple asexual. And she just literally laughs. She's like, is that a thing that people actually do?
Mm-hmm.
And she just thinks it's like completely like stupid and absurd. And which is like, it's a kind of normal thing for asexual to like have fantasies about like celebrities and all these different people.
Mm-hmm.
And because Georgia's never experienced that, she didn't know that was like kind of abnormal and not like a thing. Um, so yeah, they have a conversation about that. Um, and then the next kind of couple of days, she has her third date with Jason, and they go to this cute little pancake cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then after that, they go back to Jason's like accommodation and they chill in his room. Um, and then they go into his kitchen to like make tea. And basically, what happens is there's another guy living like in his like halls of residence, and Georgia completely like bumps into him and spills the tea and falls over onto Jason, and the tea is like spill, and it's just like this whole kind of chaotic mess.
Mm-hmm.
And then during that, Jason and Georgia get like really close in proximity, and they're both kind of like looking down at each other's lips, and it's kind of, and Georgia keeps questioning like internally, she's like, this is the moment, right? This is like when you're supposed to kiss someone. And then Jason kind of edges away because he notices that she doesn't look very comfortable, and he's like totally patient, like he wants to do it when she's ready and he doesn't want to rush anything, which is why I love him because he's just such a nice
Mm-hmm.
person, such a nice guy. um And then they did eventually kiss, and that's how that chapter kind of ends. And then we open up the next chapter with Georgia being like, she absolutely hated it. And she had this kind of, from watching TV and reading stuff, reading books, and obviously she reads fanfics, she kind of anticipated or like thought up how amazing it would be to kiss someone and all of that, and it just didn't live up to those expectations that she kind of built up in her head. And she also kind of explained that she felt really empty and she just didn't really feel anything from kissing him. And they just kissed. Obviously, they're still like next to each other in the room. And Jason kind of says, I don't think you're into me. Like, obviously, from that kiss, he can tell that there's just like still nothing really there between them romantically. And Georgia, she kind of admits to him, she's like, I thought you would be the person that I could fall in love with. If I could fall in love with anyone, like it would be you, sort of thing. And Jason is kind of coming to that realization that she definitely used her as an experiment. And he's just really hurt by it all, and it kind of just ends there with him really, really, really hurt and upset, which obviously understandably, if someone's using you for kind of their own, I wouldn't say personal gain, but like to figure themselves out whilst they know the other person has feelings for them, I would feel really hurt by that as well. And then the next chapter, it's kind of this thing of Georgia grieving this thing that she wanted, and now she's kind of slowly coming to the realization that she's never going to fall in love, and well, romantically she's never going to romantically fall in love or have a romantic relationship, and she's grieving that because that's all she's ever really wanted, and she's been like thinking about that for so long, and she's just really, like I said, like grieving that idea that she wanted. And again, like you said earlier, she likes the idea of romance, but not the actual like practicality of it. But yeah, so just really like grieving that idea that she really wanted, but just like it can't work because of the way that she feels and the way that she's wired as a person. So after that whole thing with Jason, she didn't tell Pip about it. And it turns out that Jason didn't tell Pip about it either, because she hasn't said anything to Georgia about it. So they both kind of go study in the university library, and then they come back to Georgia's room to find Rooney like absolutely upset. She's like crying in their room, and it just kind of feels like Pip has kind of like invaded on like a private kind of emotional moment that Rooney's having. And then Pip eventually leaves, and Georgia kind of finds out that, so as we kind of know, Rooney has had like she goes out all the time, she like hooks up with a load of different people, and so basically Rooney had sex with a random guy, and which obviously is normal for her, like she does that a lot. But she kind of admits to Georgia, she's like, I just did it to fill a hole. Like, she just like Georgia, in a way, she feels really empty, and she's kind of just doing that to fill a hole, and it kind of, that realization came to her, and it just makes her really sad. So they just kind of watch YouTube together, and they just kind of comfort each other, and they're just there for each other, which is really nice. And then Rooney kind of talks to Georgia a little bit about why she's doing those things, which is, when she was younger, she had a boyfriend when she was 14 to 17, so like a very like long-term kind of solid relationship, which turned really, really bad and really toxic, and he wasn't a really nice guy, which obviously affected kind of her trust, and she just didn't want to have another relationship since. So it's affected kind of her view on romantic relationships, so she just like has those like short-term like flings or hookups to kind of fill that like void. And now she is liking someone new, that someone new being Pip, and that just really scares her, because she doesn't want to have another relationship because of those trust issues that she got from that relationship when she was younger. So it's just her being really scared of kind of finally admitting she has feelings for Pip. But obviously at this point she's oblivious, and she's like, oh no, Pip, she couldn't like me at all, like that's just stupid. Yes. So also, I don't know if you mentioned this, they created a Shakespeare Society.
I did not.
Oh my God. No, I'm kidding. They created a Shakespeare Society where they wanted to just like create, kind of modernize Shakespeare theatre, and they're doing a performance for it. So there's just a bit of them like rehearsing and going over stuff for that, which is fun. And they also have this event called the Bailey Ball, which
Mhm.
is like a kind of big kind of formal event at the university. You get to dress up and everything. And yeah, so it's the Bailey Ball and it's Romeo and Juliet themed, which kind of, a lot of the music is romantic. So like Georgia is there, she's like, oh, she's not like feeling it. She's not
Mhm.
feeling too great. She's drinking a lot of alcohol at this point. Apparently it was free. So free alcohol. A lot better. Um and then during the night Rooney goes off and Georgia goes to find her, and she like looks everywhere but she can't really find her. So she just decides to get another drink, and she's drunk a lot already by this point.
Mhm.
So she is quite a little bit drunk. And then she goes into this kind of off tea room, like a side kind of room in the venue. And Pip also comes in and asks if she's found Rooney yet, and she hasn't. Then there's like a marquee with like all these different things, like a photo booth, like a bouncy castle, like all of these different kind of events and activities you can do. And they find Rooney by there. And at that point, Pip goes up to Rooney, and she literally straight out blatantly asks her, "Why do you hate me?" Because she's adamant that Rooney hates her,
Mhm.
which obviously the readers know it's like the total opposite. Um, and it looks like they're about to like proper get into a like verbal argument. So George is seeing all of this, and she kind of gets up to stop them, but because she's so like drunk, she gets up and she literally passes out. Like she stands up and she's like really dizzy and she passes out, which is fun. And then she wakes up to Pip basically slapping her to like try and wake her up. And they take her into this cinema room to kind of sober her up and to just like so she can just relax and chill. And then Pip goes off with some of her friends. And Georgia then at this point she's kind of drunk anyway. She's not really realizing what she's saying, but she's left with Rooney and she basically tells Rooney everything that happened with Jason. Um, and then she's like, I don't think I like guys. And then she says, I don't think I like anyone. I just don't think I like anyone the way that I should like people. Um, and then she kind of comes out to Rooney as Ace and Aro. And then Rooney's like, well, have you ever kissed a girl? Like, how do you know that you wouldn't want to be with a girl if you haven't kissed a girl? Um, and this is where my mind goes, yikes, I can see where this is going to end up. And essentially what happens is Rooney and Georgia kiss, which obviously Georgia like ends up not liking it. But whilst they kiss, Pip comes back into the room and sees them kiss, and she's like mega pissed because she likes Rooney, and Georgia knows that, and she kissed her crush, and that's just like super like a big betrayal. So Pip literally just storms out, and it's this whole thing, and Georgia is still like obviously drunk. She doesn't
Mhm.
really know what she's doing. Um, yeah, so that's a lot of angst. That's a
Yeah.
lot. Where am I? Yeah, so they kind of follow Pip out and try to like explain, because obviously it's not what it looks like at all. Um, Rooney then accidentally lets it slip, the whole thing with Georgia and Jason, and like her using Jason. And Pip gets really like even angrier and even annoyed and starts kind of going off on Georgia. And Rooney tries to defend Georgia, and then Pip just absolutely just storms out and just yeah, completely storms out and leaves. Um, so Georgia went back to her room for a little bit to sleep for a little bit. And that's kind of just the end of that kind of ball, and ended not very well, and a lot of feelings, a lot of angst, which isn't great. She has a little chat with Sunil as well, and Oh, she has a little child to know, and she asks him, she's like, I think I'm ace and aro, and she just like doesn't know how to accept it. Like she knows she is, but she doesn't want to be. And then a thing I really loved, he said to her, there's nothing you have to do except be. And I think that's just like, that's so powerful. I love that quotation. So the morning after, Rooney comes back to their room about 12, like in the afternoon the next day. Um, and then Georgia sends Pip and Jason separate messages, like kind of lengthy apologies, and they both read it but don't reply, which is very sad. But obviously, in that situation, you need time to process what has happened.
Yeah.
And they're not going to reply straight away because they're processing their own feelings about what has happened. And then Georgia tells Rooney that she's Aro Ace, and it's a nice kind of cute little coming out proper scene when they're both sober. Um, and then Georgia starts to kind of Google Ace and Aro stuff. And it's pretty overwhelming because there's a lot about it on the internet. And she kind of, because she didn't know what it was before, she kind of realizes there's more people than she thought who were Ace and Aro, which was kind of a nice comforting thing for her. And the next thing we find out is that Pip and Jason have both dropped out of the Shakespeare Society because of everything that's happened. They don't want to like talk to Rooney or Georgia, which is understandable, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then it's Christmas break, so Georgia goes home for Christmas. Everyone like goes home for Christmas. And then this is where we meet her family, and her cousin Ellis, who is like very important for the next couple of chapters. So Georgia overhears shouting with her nan and her uncle and her cousin Ellis. Basically, Ellis doesn't. She's kind of like mid-30s, and her nan keeps being like, oh, you're mid-30s, you need to be having a baby soon, you need to be dating, like you're almost past your prime year for dating. And Ellis is just kind of shouts back, she's like, well, I don't want to date or have kids. And then her dad is kind of like arguing back, like, you're the sole carrier of my name, what do you mean you're not gonna have kids or you're not gonna like get married and stuff? And then her mum suggests, do you want to go to therapy again? In a response for her being like, oh, I don't want to have kids, I don't want to be married. So she just storms outside, and Georgia overhears the whole thing and follows her outside. And then Ellis kind of explains that she just has no reason, like she doesn't want to date, she doesn't want kids, she doesn't want a partner, like she's doing just fine by herself. And there's this quotation from her which I have, which is, friendship can be just as intense, beautiful and endless as romance, which is so true. So true. So yeah, that's essentially it. And they kind of just have a nice little heart to heart about it, and Georgia kind of teaches her about being ace and aro, because Ellis knows what she's feeling, that she doesn't want to date anyone ever, but she didn't know that that was a term and that it was like it had a name or a label.
I am back. You can continue, but we don't have much time left.
That's fine, I'm almost done.
Okay.
Yeah, so she teaches her cousin about the labels because her cousin didn't know that it had like a name. She just knew like what she was feeling. Yeah, so then they all return back to uni in January after Christmas is over. Bruni mentally and emotionally doesn't seem like she's doing too good after going back home and coming back. Georgia notices this and she convinces her to go to the pub with her and just like kind of chill and have a nice night out together. And they kind of have a chat about how Rooney doesn't think she's completely straight. Obviously, she thinks that she likes girls because she likes Pip. Um, and they kind of have a conversation about that. And Georgia's kind of like, well, you don't have to know. Like, just take your time and figure it out. Um, Once they leave the pub, they then bump into Pip, which is a bit awkward because they haven't seen each other since that incident that happened at the ball. And then Georgia kind of goes to the Pride Society event, hoping to see Pip there so she can like properly talk to her in person. But eventually, like she's not there. But she has like a nice little chat with Sunil, which is really nice. So while she's there, Sunil because he was in the Shakespeare Society too. And Sunil was kind of like, is there any way we can get it back together? Because I really liked it. It kind of like helped him with the stress of uni. It was something like fun. And so Georgia was like, no, we still like really fallen out. Like they're not listening to me. And Sunil has Jason's number. So Sunil's like, well, I can text Jason. I can try and convince him to come back. And turns out he does. And Jason is back in, which is really great. Yes. So next, they're trying to figure out how to get Pip to rejoin the Shakespeare Society so that they can like perform their play like at the end of term. So Rooney goes to returns Pip's jacket, which they've had since that whole big argument that happened. And she apologizes to her face and then points out that Georgia was literally just down the hall, kind of like listening into their conversation. So Georgia comes up and also apologizes about the whole situation. And then Rooney straight out asks Pip about rejoining the Shakespeare Society. And then, which wasn't like the best move because Pip then like assumes from that she's like, oh, that's all you wanted. You didn't care about apologizing. You just wanted me to rejoin the society so that we could like do the performance. So that didn't end too well. And they're still kind of Georgia then kind of formulates a plan to get Pip's kind of acceptance, like apology, and to get her back into the society. Which is kind of they all kind of get together and essentially the rowing team like row them along the river, and she gets one of Pip's friends to bring her to the bridge like over the river. And so like they row across the river and Pip is on the bridge at the like exact time that they wanted her to be. And then Georgia sings what is it that she sings?
Your song from
Your song from Moulin Rouge, yeah. And then she like straight up is like to her, she grabs a megaphone and she's like to Pip, will you be my college wife? It's proper dramatic and I love it. And Pip, of course, she says yes, and then she starts crying because it's just like really emotional sort of moment. And then they hug each other so hard that they both fall into the river. It's very funny. They kind of like topple over into the river because they're hugging like so hard. And then they kind of have a little talk.
Right, I'm good.
All right. And then they have like a one-on-one kind of talk, and Georgia officially comes out to Pip, which is like a cute, nice little coming out. And she wants to learn, and she's trying to understand what that means for Georgia, which is really nice. And then Rooney can't. What is this? Oh, yes. Anyway, Pip is rejoining the Shakespeare Society, which is great. They're like start rehearsing again, they have like a couple of weeks before the performance, so they're rehearsing again. And then so something very dramatic happens the night before they're supposed to perform the play.
Okay.
And essentially what happens is they're watching Moulin Rouge in Pip's room. Like it's all like starts out cute and stuff. Georgia goes back to her room after they finish watching it. And this is the Radio Silence reference that I got. She puts on University, which is Alad's podcast, isn't it?
Yes.
Which I just love that she manages to like put all the universes together. I just think that's really cool. And then Pip texts kind of, I think late at night, early in the morning sort of thing. And she's like to Georgia, she says that she fucked up and that Rooney has just like gone. And essentially she explains what happened. When Georgia left, Pip offered for Rooney to sleep in her room. And she said yes, so they like slept in the same bed together. And then when they woke up, they were both talking, and Rooney admits to Pip that she thinks that she's pansexual, slay pansexual. We love to see it. And then Rooney basically confesses to saying that she really likes Pip in a romantic way, not a platonic way. And then they kiss, and then they eventually make out, and it gets a little saucy from there. And then they don't really go too far because Rooney kind of freaks out and mega panics and just runs out. And that's like as far as that has happened. So then Georgia gets those texts from Pip and she's like, don't worry, I'll find her. So she kind of goes everywhere she can think of, like the theatre, different parts on the university campus, to try and find her. She remembers that Rooney put a find a friend, you know, that app that you can find like your friend's like phone. So she tracks that and she finds her phone, but it's on the floor near the river and like Rooney is nowhere to be seen. So she assumes the worst, that like she fell into the river, or like she like something happened, like horrible happened to her. And she starts crying. And then all you hear is like Rooney calling Georgia and coming over to her. And she's like, "What? Why are you crying?" She's just really confused. And then Rooney is running towards Georgia at this point. It feels kind of like a rom-com, this moment.
Kind of.
Anyway. And she's like really emotional, and she's like, I love you so much. And she said, I brought these flowers for you because I love you so much, and you're like one of my best friends, and all of that. It's just like a really cute, sweet moment between them. And then they don't have much time before the performance because it's now the day of the performance. So they literally sprint to the theatre, get there just in time and like change, and they do the performance, and it's just like really amazing. And that's pretty much the end. They're just like all having a good time, and the performance was amazing, and everything is good, and it's
good. Yeah. Okay. That was a long episode.
Don't worry, we'll cut it.
Yeah, I need to head out soon, like very soon.
Okay. Final thoughts on the book.
Final thoughts. Oh my god, really good. I just I love Alice's books. I'd say that every time, but yeah, this one's, I don't know. I didn't know too much about asexuality before. I think this book is a really good one that kind of goes into like all of it. Yeah.
I like to think it's one of my favorite Alice books.
Yeah.
Probably because it's like the one I relate to the most, I think. Yeah. That's mainly what I think about the book.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite quote from the book that you want to share?
I do.
Hold on. Or you can go first.
You actually already said this while you were going through it.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. But it might not, but it's, you're gonna be okay. There's nothing you have to do except be.
Yeah, I love that. It's like, I can't explain it, but that's just so powerful.
It is,
It's
yeah.
like you don't have to do anything, like just be who you are. Just exist. That's fine.
Exactly, yeah.
The one I have is from Ellis. I loved some of the stuff that Ellis said. It was just really amazing. Um, give your friendships the magic you would give a romance because they're just as important. Actually, for us, they're way more important. And I think it's so cute and I love it.
Actually,
I
moving on
I
to
just
Alice.
wrote something basic based on the book about
I
her.
actually knew about Alice, which, if you're an Alice fan, you know of. She was in
Mm.
Attitude magazine recently,
Yes. Oh
and
my
I'm so
god.
proud of them. Like, oh my god,
Ah! I literally just wrote down Alice is A ace because
hell yeah!
I don't know if I've said that already.
I
But
don't
yeah,
think I have gone over that.
most of this book is based off like kind of her own experiences a
Mm-hmm.
little bit. Obviously, it's not what happened to her at uni, but like
No,
she's very similar to Georgia.
I'm so yeah. I just love her books so much.
Really? I
Yeah,
didn't
I
know that.
know.
That's a shocker.
I'm so
It's a real
excited
shocker.
for Heartstopper season 2.
Oh my god.
So excited. But it's gonna
You know,
come out in like October, right?
there isn't a date.
First thing probably around October. I don't know.
I think it'll come earlier than October.
And I kind of hope so.
Um,
Because October is like back to school and I want time to watch it.
what was I gonna say? You know what I'm excited for?
Mhm.
Speaking of related to this book, we're gonna have an Ace Arrow storyline for fuck, his name's not Toby. What's his name?
Oh,
Isaac.
Isaac, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm so excited.
Excited to have that.
But yeah,
Yeah. I don't really have any book history really. Theater history, not really.
I have
Oh,
one
some
a book.
theater history I can do actually.
I'll give you a book history, and then you can give me a theatre history.
Okay.
So the first like aromantic book character is called Lisa, and it's surprisingly 2011. Which obviously I'm not too surprised by because obviously it wouldn't be like back in the 80s because
Yeah.
it's just not talked still, like it's not talked about. But it's in this 2011 book called Parahumans by John C. McCrae. So if you want to check that out, I might have a look at that and see what that's like. But yeah.
Okay. I guess I can mention play theater wise. I just read a play recently about
Yeah.
it goes where both um homosexuality and also goes over disabilities. It's a really good play. I really suggest like anyone read it if you'd like to. I don't know, just I would
Yeah.
say like homosexuality is a big part of it,
Yeah.
but it's still an aspect in the story.
Okay, cool.
It's about a um lesbian single lesbian woman who has a disease, like a rare eye pigment disease called retinitis pigmentosa, I believe, which is like yeah, it's a rare eye disease that makes you slowly go blind over time.
Oh, the one you told me about. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh
it's
my god.
like really like educational because
Yeah.
you get to learn about the disease itself and also like the character's experience going through it and kind of in
Yeah.
denial about needing help.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and like she ends up like not using her cane because she feels like she can go without it.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
It's a good play. It's just people reading it. And then I also have another play that I'm gonna be doing on mental health in some sort of way, which I
Yeah.
haven't read yet, so I can't really tell you what it's about. But you can't see what it's called. It's called The Waiting Room by Diane Flax.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's the
Um, so thank you for listening or watching with us today
thing.
when we discussed Loveless by Alice Oseman. So next time we are going to be discussing a book called The Gravity of Us. I forgot the author's name, but it will, yeah, I can't remember the author's name. But
I see
it's,
the last name.
pardon?
I don't know the first name of it.
Yeah, no. So yeah, we'll be talking about The Gravity of Us, which is another queer YA book. We're not surprised at this point.
You need to get some like some straight books in here.
This is why I keep trying to get you to read The Perks of Being a Wallflower
I need to get
because
it still.
Although there is a gay character in it, but it's pretty straight.
Yeah.
It's pretty straight. No, I still swear by that being like my favorite book of all time.
Okay.
So at some point we will definitely talk about that book
Oh
once
yeah.
so yeah, I think that's all.
That's all. And remember to follow us on our social medias, which I'll have in the description. We are on TikTok, Instagram, and we also do have a Twitter, but we don't use it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And then we have an email where you can send us like suggestions on anything, any like book suggestions to read, or do episodes on people you want us to talk to, and
Yeah,
or like off-topic ideas, like the asexuality video we did.
yeah,
And our email I will also have in the description, but it's the.burrow.pod at gmail.com. And yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.